Howdy people, it is Sunday, November 17th, 1:55 p.m. is the time, and the temperature is around 10 degrees Celsius. I'm here on University Avenue, and just behind me is Dundas Street, and there's one of my favorite views in the city, looking south with the CN Tower in the background. And just to the north of here is Hospital Row. As an ambulance makes its way west on Dundas Street. And in this one, the plan is to head west on Dundas Street. That'll take us past the Art Gallery of Ontario and through Chinatown. Then I'll be going south at Bathurst Street, all the way down to where Billy Bishop Airport is. Just need to wait for the signal to change here. There we go. And off in the distance to the east is Dundas Square. And I think this one should be something in the neighborhood of 3.5 kilometers. Kind of a gray, gloomy day. There's Toronto Police 52 Division. I've mentioned it before, but this area in front of the police station is actually a public plaza. Although at one point the police were using it for parking. That caused a bit of a stir. This building here has shot up pretty quick. So my camera just decided to wander off to the right. Got to keep my eye on this gimbal. There isn't much in the way of events going on in the city this afternoon, or nothing that seemed worth recording as someone rolls by on a one-wheel. There's a 505 Dundas streetcar. Coming up is McCall Street. Then just on the other side of that is the Art Gallery of Ontario. And on the northwest corner there is the Village Idiot Pub, which recently changed its name from the Village Genius Pub. And prior to that, it was the Village Idiot, so they've returned to their former glory. I remember being confused. I went there when it was the Village Idiot, then I walked by and I called it that on the stream, and people corrected me and told me it's actually the Village Genius. I didn't notice the first name change. And you can kind of see where they changed the lettering on the sign. Some of the old lettering still visible underneath. I wonder if that was by design or not. On the left is the Art Gallery of Ontario. Originally the Art Museum of Toronto, founded back in 1900. In 1966 they renamed it the Art Gallery of Ontario. And this distinct facade here was a later addition done by the Canadian architect Frank Gehry. There's some smaller galleries across the street. I think there's something like 90,000 works in there, featuring Canadian and Indigenous art. There's a lot of European art, modern and contemporary art, African and oceanic art. And I think there's a pretty extensive photography and prints collection as well. And a frat party circa 1783. And coming up is Beverly Street, and on the other side of Beverly, we will be in Chinatown. Just north of College here, Beverly becomes St. George Street. Grange Park just to the south. And welcome to the city's main Chinatown. There's a smaller Chinatown called East Chinatown I recently did a video through around Broadview and Gerrard. And there's areas in the surrounding suburbs that could be considered Chinatowns, but Toronto proper has two. There's Kachi Restaurant. It's a popular Korean restaurant. They've had a few different locations around the city close down somewhat recently. We're at Huron Street. There's a bar and lounge on the second floor there, Big Trouble. I was at a place on Ossington last night called The Piston. They were having a 90s night. That was pretty, I almost said pretty rad. I was like, I don't talk like that, but I guess that's an apt description. This is the land of Uber Eats delivery drivers. And you could consider this the main intersection in Chinatown, Dundas and Spadina. I walked through here going southbound Spadina in a live stream yesterday. And unfortunately, the streetcars aren't running yet. Service should be resuming in December, but for now there's replacement buses.
It's all diapers, you know.
And also in the direction the camera's pointing is the Kensington Market neighborhood. We'll be walking alongside that. I always like this view from the corner with the CN Tower and all the overhead streetcar lines. All right, no comment. Kind of hard to believe that got painted. I think that was a marketing gimmick. I just gotta fix my shoe. Honk honk. So on the left is the Alexandra Park neighborhood. And on the north side of Dundas, which is to the right, is Kensington Market. This stretch would still be considered Chinatown.
to spend.
And Alexandra Park is undergoing a massive transformation. I don't know if these co-ops here will be meeting the wrecking ball. I believe they will be, and they'll be replaced with buildings much like that one. A similar revitalization has undergone or taken place at a neighborhood on the east side of downtown. Augusta Avenue closed some Sundays, 12 to 7 p.m., May to September. No more pedestrian Sundays for the year. And I think Regent Park, that neighborhood on the east side, is much further along in its redevelopment.
Oh, he shucked you nearly.
And there is something we see all too often in the city, a ghost bike. This person lost their life at the hands of a motorist a little over 4 years ago, tragically. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of those going up if Doug Ford gets his way. He has no problem sacrificing the lives of people of the city, so cars can not move any faster along major corridors that just so happen to be on his route to work from his home in Etobicoke. What a stand-up guy that piece of shit is. Anyways, we continue going west along Dundas. And there's an interesting row of street food vendors coming up. Buddha's vegan restaurant. Probably consider that to be the end of Chinatown. Alexandra Park, with its large public swimming pool, is just on the left. And the Scatting Court Community Center. This used to be the home of a large estate. Stuffed grilled cheese, not open today. Classic grilled cheese, $8. Bicycle repair shop, MikeTheBike.ca. Every time I walk through here, I think about half of the places aren't even open. I imagine throughout the winter, business can't be too great. We've got poutine, elevated Filipino street food. There's Japanese. Thai, Ethiopian. More Japanese, karage fried chicken, Jamaican, little banh mi, grilled beef sandwich, $13 for a banh mi sandwich. And just on the right here is Toronto Western Hospital. We are almost at the very western edge of downtown, and that's where I'll be turning left, and we'll be heading straight down Bathurst Street. There's an interesting and bustling neighborhood straight ahead here along Dundas. And that McDonald's has the closest drive-through in proximity to downtown. It's literally right across the street. Oh, that did not smell too fresh. There's the library branch, the Sanderson branch. And this is south down the east side of Bathurst Street, which also features a streetcar line. In the wintertime, this will be an outdoor ice rink. At least when it's cold enough for the water to freeze. There's a Buddhist temple. The Qinghuaq Buddhist temple. And there has been a huge uptick in the number of people playing pickleball and paddleball. It's interesting to see a court pop up here. I'm curious if they take that net down every day. And I remember throughout the pandemic, there was a very large encampment at this park. I think it's been cleaned up a few times, but without better solutions, the city's just playing whack-a-mole. They're always just going to reappear somewhere else whenever they're taken down. They round up everyone's belongings, throw everything out, and kick the people out. And then the cycle repeats itself over and over again. I don't know or claim to know the solution, but this ain't it. I did do a couple of videos on the tinytinyhomes.ca project by a great dude named Ryan. One of those videos is the most viewed long-form video I've ever done. I think it's at like 1.3 or 1.4 million views. I then did a follow-up video. It's an excellent concept. As I try to fight back I don't know if that was a hiccup or a burp. Someone pushing something on the street here. I don't know why he wouldn't be on the sidewalk. There we go. Bathurst Street here begins at Queen's Quay to the south, and it passes through a number of neighborhoods. Oh, that Otsu car, I wish I had the camera pointed that way. Ended up slamming on its brakes. Those cars are like short-term rental cars. And drivers rent them and then operate them for Uber. And because they're fairly high-end cars, I think they operate as Uber Black. And their arrangement with Uber is they also provide a lot of wheelchair accessible vehicles as required by law. So by allowing that company to operate, they get around that requirement with the city. I like that building there. Hopefully that's some form of stainless metal on the facade, as we are very near Queen Street West. As a 511 Bathurst streetcar slowly lurches its way north. I always thought it's kind of silly that streetcars operate in mixed lanes. They should really have their own dedicated right-of-ways, like on St. Clair, Queens Quay, and some other stretches. Spadina as well. That streetcar runs up to Bathurst Station, then you'd have to transfer to the number 7 bus going north of Bathurst. And to the left, Queen Street West, and CB2. And to the right is the West Queen West neighborhood. Reg Hart still doing his thing at 463 Bathurst Street in the Cineforum. There's the Parkdale Queen West Community Health Center. often interesting characters hanging out in front of that place as we get to Richmond Street. It's interesting how these homes have stood the test of time. Bathurst is one of those streets that kind of feels like a hodgepodge. It doesn't really have one set vibe or cohesive feel to it. It's quite random. This is Adelaide Street coming up. And walking west along Adelaide, it looks like St. Mary's here is at the end of Adelaide Street, but it takes a little jog around it. It's kind of a neat effect. And this will lead right through the heart of the financial district. And we'll be walking by a construction site in a moment where work is underway on an Ontario Line subway station. That view in there of the work site. There was a popular bar and nightlife establishment there that had to make way.
It's going to turn in.
Same goes for this one, the Banknote. As this is a very popular stretch for nightlife along King Street West. But fortunately, the oldest pub in the city, the Wheat Chief, was spared, which sits on the southwest corner. I quite like the way this building has come together. Nice big balconies with good privacy from your neighbors. It's not your cookie cutter glass box design.
I think I was behind the car that was.
This must be a popular spot. Kitchen 1, Toronto. We've got a heater for people to stand as they wait, or stand by as they wait. I don't know the deal behind that. It'd be cool if they just took people's numbers and fired them off a text when their table was ready. They could wait at a nearby cafe or something. Niagara Street, so in just over a block we'll be crossing the rail corridor. I've yet to try this place, Kennelman's Bagel. There's one in Midtown. There's Stacked Market. And this is where Front Street terminates to the west. That's the City Place neighborhood straight ahead. And I have not seen this corridor along Front Street so busy with pedestrian activity. I think the Well, a new development at Front and Spadina, has really livened up the area. Kind of hoping we'd see a train roll by. Sometimes you catch the Up Express airport train. And where those condos are on the right, once upon a time was a driving range. And Fort York and the Bentway lie just to the west of here. I did a video through the Bentway 2 weekends ago. It was a very early quote-unquote Christmas market that had absolutely nothing to do with Christmas there. And a new City Place tower has gone up. The Signature Tower, blocking a view of the CN Tower. A little bit unfortunate.
Keeping up all these.
And we're heading underneath the crumbling Gardner Expressway. Here's a look west along the Bentway. Not too far from Billy Bishop Airport, our destination, or at least alongside it. These people here might have a plane to catch. We've made it to Lakeshore Boulevard West. That building there used to be home to Channel 47 Cable 4, a multicultural station, perhaps best known for Simpsons and Married with Children reruns after school. That motorcycle driver flipping off some of these cars. That's one thing you will see virtually none of on these walks, and that's actual traffic enforcement. It is the Wild West on these streets. Oh, here's someone unhinged. That lady was trying to calm her dog down. Hopefully, those people have a better day and calm down. And we've made it just about to the foot of Bathurst Street. This street is Queens Quay. We're trying to rush onto the streetcar. Bathurst Street ends and Irene Quay begins. Quay, Q-U-A-Y. I know it's Quay, but I often mispronounce it Quay when I read it in my mind for the first time, or I guess out loud. I don't know why this little stretch of Bathurst isn't called Bathurst. I'm sure it confuses the hell out of a lot of people that it goes by a different name. And I wanted to walk alongside Little Norway Park here. I had heard an encampment had sprung up here, and this would be it. And straight ahead is Toronto City Centre or Billy Bishop Airport. It's a regional airport, but it does have international flights, mostly from Porter and Air Canada. If you're wondering where your bicycle may have ended up. Often places like that. And this airport sprung up in 1939. Initially, it was just general aviation and military purposes. Billy Bishop himself was a Canadian ace pilot in World War I. It's got a very long tunnel that connects this terminal part here to, or I guess this entrance to the main terminal. And there's also a ferry, one of the shortest in the world, that you can take. And that's where we're gonna go. And this one right at this new park here that has opened up. Oh, there's the boat or ferry completing its very short route. So there's actually rental car services over there. You can drive onto the ferry and scoot across and drive into the city. There we go. I hope you enjoyed this one, walking along Dundas and Bathurst Street. I think what I'm gonna do, I was thinking I might live stream, but I don't have any other videos other than this one. I think I'm gonna make another video walking from here to Union Station, as off in the distance a plane lands. So this is part 1 of 2. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. That's that sound of that plane that just landed. Yoink.